Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast,
Season 1, Episode 23, Perfect Blue.
If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
It is what it is. Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday at 8 p.m. I am your head camp counselor, Ducky Wenzel. I am here with other head camp counselors all across the board. We got Mr. David Jessup. David, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. Getting ready for the storm.
Yes, the storm is slowly coming in. Jay, how are you, sir?
I am doing well. I am also preparing for the gush of stormy proportions.
Yes, we can hear it outside rumbling, so if the feed gets killed at some point, that is the reason why. Perfect, Jay. Very nice. We also have Anime Still Sucks with us here. Jacob, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, I think. I don't know. The storm's already here also, so I don't know. We'll see what's going on.
Storm of a movie. And Jake is wrong. Mr. Javi B, whose birthday it is. Happy birthday again, Mr. Javi.
Hey guys, how you doing, guys? I'm coming at you live, and it is currently storming, so I don't gotta wait for shit.
You did that like a weatherman. That was badass.
Nice weather.
You look over here.
I've also been drinking, and I'm easily impressed. All right, so we checked out the movie Perfect Blue for Javi's birthday. This is his birthday pick. He loved it. It is anime. He knew he was going to be able to get in.
Eat it, nerds. Well,
All
Wonder
right.
in particular. Eat it.
History of this movie. Javi, because you picked it, what is your history with this movie?
I first saw it when I was starting to get really into anime, about like 2007 or so. Or wait, I think maybe 2010. I'm not too sure. Either way, I remember it tripped me the fuck out when I first saw it. And I just fucking loved it. I couldn't tell which one was like her. Like, it kept going in and out of realities, and I really liked that. And like, this guy does this a lot. You see with his movie Paprika, which I still think is like the premise for like Inception, where Nolan got it from, because it's like eerily similar. But
This is like the inspiration for Black Swan, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, from everything
I
I
thought
read.
the same thing, man. I actually thought the exact same thing.
That's what it totally reminded me of while watching. I was like, this got a real, like, I got that vibe from it. And I looked something up, and I guess Darren Aronofsky denies it, but I mean, there's striking similarities that are undeniable.
And what I also really liked during the filming of this, that Satoshi Kon had nothing to do with this. He didn't even know about it. Like, you guys remember Bjork and that whole thing that was going on with that stalker that was like trying to kill her and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a scary parallel about just like what celebrity could do.
Mm-hmm.
Being famous is just, and it really plays into that.
Yeah,
That's what I really liked about it.
And
Isn't that what you got from it?
I mean, I think only Jay is the only person here who has any history with this movie. You said you watched it a couple years ago. Is that correct?
No, negative. This year on my October annual Fearcast, I did Beyond the Abyss, and it was all things I had never seen before. I thought it was a really cool premise to do it.
Oh, cool.
And Will, of all people, recommended Perfect Blue to me, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I saw it, and I was like, okay, awesome. But I was also extremely happy that I did not see this movie when it came out in '97, because it's so topical of the day back then, and I swear this would have been one of those movies that I'm sure just had a bunch of douchey fans that were like, this is film, This is real hard. Like this is like in college, like, you know, everyone had one of like 4 movie posters. They either had like a Scarface, Matrix, either that or Boondock Saints. So those guys are great. And I could see this being the 4th pillar of like, oh, that's my Perfect Blue poster. let me talk to you about how. You think you know what anime is? This is beyond that. This is art. But seeing it 20 years later, you know, 24 years later, whatever it was, I was really taken back because, again, it just explores so many new things about the day, about the internet. And I actually got some real single white female vibes from it. I actually thought this movie was actually partly inspired by single white female in a lot of ways. Not that it was not a ripoff at all, but some like a subtle homage, and then obviously put their own spin on it. And I bought in.
How about Selena? It had like a Selena thing to it.
I also got like a Selena vibe to it too.
Yeah, because it was like the manager like fucking with her and stuff.
Like someone really close to her, just like fucking trying to like mark her.
Yep.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I thought it was like, if you want to see the perfect animated way, if you wanted to see an animated definition of gaslighting, this movie was probably the best one I've probably ever seen, animated or not. It is a perfect gaslight movie.
Oh yeah, it's a very good visual representation of what gaslighting is.
Yeah.
So Jay saw it, Javi saw it. I don't think the rest. David, have you seen this before? Jake, have you seen this before?
I had never heard of it before. And I'm not a huge anime fan, but I do love Ghost in the Shell and Akira. So I appreciate anime. Those 2 films are one of my, top 20 films. I absolutely love them. I had no idea about this movie, and I was really intrigued because Jay was talking it up, and I absolutely loved it. I think this would be a great movie that this could be a great movie that could be remade as a real action, like real life movie.
Live action, yeah.
Sorry. God, that's so stupid.
You're fine.
You know, funny
Live
Real
action.
action. It's the new thing.
If this was a movie where you had moving pictures with
It could have
people
been a
in
real
it,
moving picture.
it could have been you could have had Margaret Clydesdale in it. She was really good in the time. I liked her 'cause she didn't talk back, The director would tell her to do something, and she would show some skin.
Speed of the talkie pictures.
But yeah, man, I could see this movie. I could David Fincher directing a movie like this, man. But yeah, man, loved it. The only issue I had with it, and I know it's 1997, I thought the quality of the animation was pretty bad compared to the other anime that I'm used to.
A lot of Danzy eyes in there.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and it was funny because Lindsay was watching it with me, and she does voiceover for anime, and she was like, "Oh my God, look at those flaps. They're not even moving. This is awful." Like she was like totally critiquing it from like a production point of view. But that was really my only issue with it. I just thought the animation style was not a lot of frames,
it's hit and miss, and that's the thing with anime. Sometimes they cheap out, and sometimes they go full force. But there's like the dance sequences, the running sequences, the things like that, where the animation is amazing. What I love about this guy's style is you forget it's animated.
That's very true. Yeah,
and also like to the production quality, you got to think if you ever seen Paprika, he had a much bigger budget for that movie.
Right.
Because that animation was fucking flawless, and it was just very disorienting. And I don't think he had that big of a budget for Perfect Blue.
You're right, he didn't. This started as a live action film, and
it did.
They wanted to make it as a live action because it was a novel initially, and then they decided to move to animation whenever the production people started falling out. So they're like, let's move this animation. And you're right, Javi. He had a lower budget, and Paprika is better. He has this guy has a thing for floating women because Paprika has the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it right now, Paprika is a better film than this. This is not great, but with that said, this is more mainstream than anything anime I think I've ever seen in my life. Go ahead, Jake.
I actually think that the horror animation is a strength, and I'll explain to you why. I think that what this movie does is, if you think of anime movies around this time, like Sci-Fi Channel did a bunch of specials on on animation. It was called Adventures in Japanese animation, and they played Lensman, and they played Vampire Hunter D, and I think they played a couple of Miyazaki movies. And if you look at all those movies, the one thing you can say about anime at the time is big, real big, and they're all super, effects extravaganzas with violence and space and monsters and everything. And I think with this movie, I mean, granted, I don't think the animation is super strong, but he went small, and the movie is
claustrophobic a little bit.
Yeah. The movie is. I almost think the bad animation, it really does play to its strength. I think it gives it a grindhouse kind of feel for me, on top of being this super psychological thriller. And I could honestly say it's one of the few animes I've ever seen that didn't have that, super, have like this like a big gigantic, monster twist, or and it didn't have, the typical super jiggles that we're prone to. And when they use it, when they have that kind of stuff, the sexuality and all that stuff, it's got a purpose and it hits just right. And to be honest, I haven't seen Paprika, so I can't compare the two. But from what I saw in this, I was truly blown away.
For me, good.
I was just going to jump in. The thing I really liked about it was the character design of the stalker was very horrific, and it almost had like this guy could be a Jason or a Freddy. He was so good. Where's Duck going? But I thought the character design, the stalker was really, really good, really done well. The way the hair
really played into it and everything.
Yeah, the way that the hair was off to the side and the eye was up here.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Me Mania was definitely probably the coolest part of this whole fucking experience. I don't know. What was up with Rumi whenever she smelled the letter and that face that she made? Like, what the fuck was that about? And then she had to explain to her about the internet, and it's like, dude, everybody knows that Japan's had the internet since the Nagasaki bombing. Like, none of this is making any sense. I maintain that I thought that this was a surfing movie, so I watched Blue Crush with Kate Bosworth, and I was like, this isn't scary. So then there was another surfer movie called Soul Surfer, where she gets her arm eaten off by a shark, and that just sucked. And then I put on Point Break because that's just a good movie. And then I got to Perfect Blue, and I was like, this is still the wrong movie. It's a fucking Power Rangers movie. It starts off with fucking Power Rangers, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm a little okay. I liked parts of this movie, and there's a lot I didn't like. I think it's not too clear on what it is exactly. Whenever she ends up killing Mr. Mania, and then the lights come on, it's like, well, is she in her fucking head like while half of this going on? I get it. It's supposed to be fucking fucking obscure and elusive, and you're not supposed to really know what's going on. But goddamn, give me something definitive. Like, what the fuck is going on here? There's a few other things that I'll get to whenever we start talking about later down the line. Some really weird choices that they made. But yeah, I mean, the pizza delivery scene was fucking dope as hell, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, Javi.
A screwdriver to die.
Javi,
Yep.
why specific? Oh, dang! You hear that? Why specifically did you choose this movie? What was the thing about it? Because I don't know if it is classified as horror. It's suspense thriller, definitely.
It's a thriller.
Yeah, but
For sure.
Jay's disagreeing too. But why did you decide for this to be a horror movie? Oh, Jay
Jay
can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
I thought you did.
Your mouth was moving. You were like,
I thought it was good horror.
I guess I'm just so confused. Like, I guess the last few times, and I'm not trying to start wars or anything, but like
start a war.
It's like every it's for the last few weeks. You're like, well, I didn't really consider this a horror movie. Like, we didn't consider The Frighteners a horror movie. I'm like, it's Ghost. The guy kills people.
It falls.
Got a serial killer. This movie has a serial killer that kills multiple people. I mean, what else do they need for it to be a horror movie? I guess I just don't know. Like,
no, it's under the umbrella. It's suspense thriller. I feel it's left of center. But there's
especially with the bad guy. The bad guy has that Jason vibe to him.
Yeah.
You know,
stocky.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable. There's
not everything that's considered horror has to involve the paranormal or aliens or monsters or anything like that. No Country for Old Men, Javier Bardem's character absolutely terrified the shit out of me, and he was just a regular fucking hitman. And that movie's not even near the horror category. And I considered him a terrifying figure. I would gladly, happily have fucking Anton Sugar in Dead by Daylight as one of the characters.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, one of his perks would be his haircut.
His haircut, he would just like go around with a fucking air canister and a fucking bolt shooter.
And there was one like I wish I could name the movie critic. But there's one, and he was a pretty big one, and he said that he believes that all movies start out as horror movies, and then they slowly become something.
Because life is terrifying.
It's full of shit, whoever it was.
The Care Bears movie didn't begin as a horror movie.
Dude, that Care Bears movie was a fucking horror movie, dude.
Yeah,
Are
whatever.
you kidding me?
The carousel, get out of here.
Yeah, dude, it got dark.
Dark Heart. Yeah, dude. No.
Javi, why was this your pick though? Like, what is it specifically about
Anime.
this movie?
Well, that
Other
was
than
one of
that.
it. I wanted to go anime, but I didn't want to go what people like generally associate with anime. Just like the big sparkly eyes, the anime figures. I wanted something fucking serious. I didn't want to do like a monster anime or anything like that, or anything involved in space. I almost went with space, and I can't remember the name of the anime that I almost went with, but it just would have been along the lines of Predator. It was just like action but horror. I wanted to go like more in depth with it. Just like something. And I remember with this movie, it scared me with the fact that it felt like it's super uncomfortable just to watch. You know, it's like it's like almost like you're peeking in on her life, and you shouldn't really be. And it's kind of like
I didn't even think about that.
Tell you what was
Stop
uncomfortable.
voyeurism.
Like goddamn soundtrack. Ugh. Brutal.
Didn't work
man.
for you?
No, hell no. Not whenever they were singing, not that K-pop shit.
Oh yeah, the K-pop. It's in my head right now.
The actual score was fucking badass though.
yeah. If you actually listen to the lyrics of those K-pop songs, they're pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah.
You can easily see any stalker. Like, oh yeah, she's fucking me.
The subtitles went by so fast sometimes. I feel like I missed like half the fucking movie. Also, I had to go back and rewind it a bunch of times. Like, what the fuck did he say?
Who watched
It had some.
Who went subs and who went dubs? I know
I went subs.
I went subs.
Subs.
And
I
went
hate
dubs.
anime dub.
I saw both of them, and it's important that can I give a minor spoiler, guys? Y'all cool
Well
with that?
away.
Yes, yes.
So here's the deal. We all know the ending of the movie. You know, she stabs. You know, her stalker lady. She ends up, you know, getting impaled on that window, and then you see her in the asylum, and then you see that last shot is her looking in the mirror, right? Okay, here's where it's different. In the subbed version, the one where it's in Japanese and then it's, you know, subtitled in English, the last voice you hear is the stalker. In the American dubbed version, the last voice you hear is the main character. So the American, the dubbed version is actually considered the happy version, whereas in the sub version, and they did that on purpose because they didn't think a Western audience would appreciate a more a sadder ending. So that's why I watched them in both. And of course, the subtitle one's of course way better. But you know, sometimes you don't like to read, and that's the way it is.
So with the movie, let's kind of get into talking about it. I like that you brought up the voyeurism aspect of it, and how, you know, that is a huge part of the plot, the fact that somebody's watching her life. And when I went back and clicked it again, I realized what was going on. I didn't realize that the Rumi, I guess is the name of the lady who was one of the agents, was feeding
Was she
information
also
to
her
the...
roomie at the same time? Together? Was Rumi her roomie?
Well, that's how she got so much information on her. And then she
Dude, there's no room in that apartment.
I
That
know.
apartment is so
Yeah,
fucking
that's
small.
Room.
Yeah.
I was like, she's a pop star and she lives in a closet.
Yeah, that's Japan culture, man. They have small houses.
Act.
Well, you can watch videos on it. They live in tiny houses.
It's like Manhattan.
But so she was feeding information to the stalker through email, and they were doing a shared psychosis. I didn't understand that.
The stalker wasn't even real though. Like, so how
wasn't?
the fuck
Wait,
does
what?
that work?
He was real.
He was real.
real.
Stalker was real.
So she killed him on set in front of everybody, and they just applauded.
No, she was going through her own psychosis because the rape scene, even though it was fake, it triggered her into this mental state. And then you actually have a shared psychosis. It's like a triad of shared psychosis between these three people. And so part of the time where she's seeing the other Mimi. Is it Mimi or Nimi? I couldn't. It was Mimi. Right? Mimi. As she was seeing Mimi, she was sometimes Nima. Sometimes it was her psychosis, and sometimes it was actually Rumi taking that form, and especially towards the end. And it was very confusing for me. And Jay had said, it's a trippy movie. Until I did clips afterwards, I didn't put two and two together on a lot of the stuff. And thank God for Wikipedia. Wikipedia really put it together for me, where I was like, oh, okay, but I think that it's one of those movies that you watched over and over again, you would slowly get that.
Well, that tells you something right there. If you have to go to Wikipedia to figure out what the fucking how to watch this movie, what the fuck it's supposed to mean.
They clarified it.
We all know that everything from Japan comes with instructions for their movies.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I watched the entire movie with the Wikipedia page. It would pause to figure out who the characters were.
Whenever I can't even say the fucking title properly with one go, I'm like, why even bother? Like, just.
I tell you what, guys. The scene that really hooked me big time was when I thought for a second that this whole thing was in her head. And then it pulls back and you realize that she's just doing a scene in the movie. Yeah. But when it shows her in the insane asylum and they're like, yeah, she got raped and blah, 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 and she's killing people. I was like, holy shit, she's the murderer.
I thought so too, yeah.
I really like the part whenever she's on the internet for the first time reading all the shit and she's like, hey, what the fuck? And she has that moment of realization, like, somebody is watching every fucking thing that I do. And it just slowly fucking pans out away from her. She's like, the joy in her voice goes away also. And she's like, so that was a cool part.
Just like that pan out where you just see sitting alone in the room and shit. And that's more that aspect. It's like, oh fuck, I'm super uncomfortable. It's like you feel like you really shouldn't be looking. Like you almost want to look away. Like this is getting a little bit too creepy.
But I mean, she gave her best in the rape scene though, and she said,
"Dude, that's what's so weird is the rape scene. She's not really being raped, and there's that moment where the actor,
he's like,
I love that.
Sorry. Yeah, I like that part a lot. I clipped that because I was like, he should say sorry. I thought that in my head, and then he said it, and I was like, okay, I really like that because that's the way I felt in the moment. Like I was like, somebody needs to ease the tension of this scene.
It bases it more in reality than it is on set, and it is just acting. So
right.
That sense of comfort that okay, what I'm about to watch isn't as bad as it seems, I guess.
But it sets it up for the rape at the end, and I mean it's an attempted rape, but I guess it's still rape. It doesn't matter. He
penetrated her.
Did he?
Yeah, with a fucking ice pick right
here. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but I mean, but you're right, though. That's still rape. Like, somebody that doesn't have to be vaginal, penetration for rape. It's rape. And it's terrifying. And, like, the whole time, that's the thing that's scary about the movie is, like, that doom. What do you always say? The movie is a day ruiner almost?
A day ruiner,
yeah. I felt like this movie was a bit of a day ruiner with a lot of that stuff in there and the tension that's built. And so, and the animation, like I said, you forget it's animated at a certain point and it becomes very real. But the things that they can do in animation, the floating girl, I think that's the one thing that they do here that at the time they probably couldn't have done in live action. But all this could be live action now. And I think as a thriller, like it's a throwback to like you guys were saying earlier, like single white female. I kept thinking Basic Instinct when I was watching it. Now Basic Instinct is more sleazy and I love that movie because it's 90s sleaze, but it has that suspense and that thriller aspect to it where you're almost on the edge of your seat. But I was also a little bit bored with it, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit in between. But going back and now knowing what happened in the movie, I was just too dumb to understand, I think, what was happening half the time. Or it wasn't clarified.
I didn't really I realized that there was some sort of fucking like split personality shit going on, or just like she had fucked up head problems. I think whenever Rumi confronted her and revealed that she was the other Mima, and then chases her out of the apartment, she's like just gliding along. You see that one scene where she's running after her. They switch over to Rumi, and it's like, okay, so she's imagining that she's just floating around behind her and all this shit. And then you see that cut scene right there. That helped me out a lot. I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense. But I don't understand how ripping a wig off is going to make you fall into a piece of fucking glass. How does that work?
I don't know either. But I did like the ending. I like that she saved her because that I was not expecting at all. I thought
for sure that she was going to be the one that got killed.
I know, man.
The
I
way
know.
the timing of the truck was, I was like,
I was worried too, and that's when I realized I was
Good.
invested. When I was like, I was really literally worried, and I was like, please don't let this. I wanted this to have a happy ending so bad.
Yeah.
Because this girl had gone through so much shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, please let this be a good ending, and it was. I really, really enjoyed it, man. And what was the length of it? What was the time of it? I never
Hour
checked.
and 21
Hours
minutes.
21.
Yeah,
Really short watch.
it went pretty fast.
Thank you, Javi.
But
She's
I-
a fucking 2.5 fucking.
I also
You're
like
gonna be hard
the,
pressed to find an animated movie that's over 2 hours or even close to that.
yeah.
Interstellar 55. It's not 2 hours.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, and let's talk about some of the other stuff about it. It's also beyond just being a psychological thriller. It talks about cross-platforming celebrities and how they want to do other things. And she starts out in an idol band, a pop idol band, which is there is a lot of history when it comes to those, and the way that they kind of they're kind of a factory for them over there, and how she wants to become an actress. And I think that simulated sex scene, like, I'm not going to say that's when the batteries dropped, but I think for her character development, that was her choice. It almost felt like that was her first big step into womanhood.
Yeah.
Right, because she's not making choices. She's not. She's letting them make the choices for her.
But I think that's finally one of the first things she got to make a choice for herself. And when you are brought up in a system like that, I mean, I would know. I was never in a Japanese idol band.
You were,
but I think a lot of other performers can kind of be like, yeah, you really aren't used to making a lot of your own choices. You're used to everything kind of happening, for you, or in spite of what you want. And so I really like that journey as well for her. It was a very nightmarish journey, but I just love where they took it. I really did.
And it allows the character to make mistakes too, because she says, afterwards, she's like, you didn't want to do that. Now, whether or not that's true is ambiguous, because we don't really know. She wanted to make that choice because did she not want to be a pop star anymore? And that's what's kind of great about it, is she's conflicted all the way around.
Yeah.
What's weird is the fact that, the psychosis hits, which, I mean, I've struggled with psychosis in the past. Like, that delusional state when I was younger, there's a period about 6 months where reality and my dreams started to blend together. So I can understand how that can happen. And what's great is how they intercut that with the acting and then her realities. And then, like David said, like, you get that scene in the hospital where she's admitting to the murders or whatever, and you're not sure if it's real. You're not sure if the movie took a complete twist at that point and the characters that were actors are real. That's what I was thinking. Like, you become part of her delusions. And that's really done well within the editing and the emotional arc. The movie itself, like, you follow her emotional arc, which is good, but it's also confusing. And I think it's meant to be that way also. But it like I said, on looking back on it and clipping it again, it started to make more sense and stuff started falling in place. And I was like, oh, wow, this is a pretty decent storyline that's going on here. So Javi's all happy down there. I see him. He's like, yeah, I picked a good movie. Not everyone liked it. I'm half on it still. I don't know.
I loved it. I really like the imagery that there was in some of those scenes. Like when you first see the girl performing on stage through the eyes of the stalker, and he's like that,
holding her,
almost like he's holding her and shit.
Yes.
So every
great.
Mr. Me Mania scene in it is the fucking
just-
best
it's the
part
shit,
of this
yeah.
fucking movie for sure.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, whenever he was on the computer, when it revealed that he was fucking typing all that shit, also the reveal of that in the pan out was fucking top notch.
And all the pictures speaking to him.
Yes.
And then it's because it's
Yes.
actually Rumi typing to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said,
Fucking-
and then
that
his
was dope.
delusions happening, and he's seeing the pictures, and then she's within the room with him. I was like, that's super cool to see his delusion and see how far gone he is.
And you also see just how easy it is to actually wrangle people into your fucking looniness or your craziness. Because, like, not only did she wrangle Mr. Mima, she also wrangled in fucking the main girl. Fuck, I'm blanking on names here. She wrangled her in, and they're all just like this one big, like, I guess
triad of psychosis. That's what it
Triad
is.
psychosis.
The holy trinity of psychological disorders.
Oh man, it probably is. It's probably even deeper things. Go ahead, David. What were you going to say?
The scene that I felt that was very cinematic was the scene where the screenwriter gets killed in the parking garage, where he's here. Holy shit! I just saw your cat moving behind your head.
Keep showing.
But that is such a cool scene, and it's done so well. It's almost like a film, the way it's shot with the music and them in the elevator, then the elevator opening up, and he's dead. It was done really, really well.
I gotta go help Britton out.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you in a minute.
I'll be right back.
What I really like is, I'm gonna mute you real quick. Is like when he falls, he cripples over, and we were talking about earlier with Paprika. The animation is tenfold what this is, and like it's so much better. But like it's that at all times. Like you have that level of sophistication to the animation. So I highly recommend the movie Paprika.
Oh, absolutely, Paprika.
I think it is.
I'll probably watch it right after we're done here, man.
Yeah,
I'll definitely
You're
check
gonna
it out.
love it. Like it's very similar to Perfect Blue. Like the story is just as compelling and it's just as intriguing. Like you're gonna want to know what the fuck is going on. It's not confusing at all, but it's just really fucking interesting.
It's very straightforward, but it deals with the duality once again, because there's a character in that has a dual personality that's happening, but it's a little bit more on the nose than this one is.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, you're not real sure what's going on and who's in control of it. But I mean, other than that, like it's an emotional journey more than anything, and that it uses the medium of anime to be able to create that emotional journey throughout that. And she has a good story arc, and especially when you get to the end and the stalker comes in. Like I said, I was happy when she fucking hammered him in the head. I was so goddamn happy. And but it is a day ruiner. Thanks, Javi. I don't know what to say.
No, but I also like that it gives you like a little bit of an insight into like culture of Japanese culture in like a different way.
What do you mean?
Like like how idols are represented, and just the fact that how much hatred she got just for going cross platform instead of staying in where she got her fame and where people knew her.
Well, I think Jay said it earlier too, especially in the 90s or even before that, TV actors didn't work in movies and movie actors didn't work in TV.
Well, if you went to TV, it was considered a demotion.
Right. Until you got to like Breaking Bad, when you got to the point where TV actually became better than the movies, you know what I mean? Or even before that, I know The Wire. Everyone loves The Wire. And it's one of those things, the same thing with actors. Like we've had many singers try to cross over. Mandy Moore, Jessica Simpson, Britney Spears, like in our generation. And some of them were successful and some of them were not.
How about one of them was successful? It was only Mandy Moore.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying. It's like we were judgmental. It's the same thing with comedians. When comedians try to cross over to acting, a lot of the times they get the same thing. And I think now we're more accepting of people trying different things. But in 1997, yeah, definitely, that would have been a huge step if we had a Britney Spears that's comparable try to go do her movie Crossroads. It would be the same thing. A lot of us be judgmental, but it also goes back to the voyeurism of, people being stars and whatever it is, we're constantly judging these people. And so for her to sink into psychosis because she has people telling her what to do, very much aligns with how Britney Spears, you see that a lot.
And also not only people telling her what to do, but also people watching her and judging her every fucking move. Is like, can you just imagine how like unnerving it's got to feel knowing that people are watching it and you can't see them watch you? Yeah. And it's just weird, just like you're feeling eyes on you at all time under the microscope.
Well, she had paranoia.
You're gonna fucking break. You're gonna break.
She had paranoia. She, like every little instance that she thought that somebody might be watching her, she would open the curtain to her window, or she would, slowly think those things. And I was just thinking, whenever Rumi sees the rape scene happening, for the movie or the TV show, she starts crying. Do you think she was putting herself in place of her at that time too? Yeah. She was always surrogating, that situation, and that's why she left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She wanted to be her.
Yeah.
So like, in her mind, that wasn't Mima in there. That was her. That was Rumi in that scene.
Right. That was a good setup too. Good.
I tell you what, I did not see that twist coming, and I love it. I love it when a movie gets me on a twist. Yeah. And I thought that was fantastic, man. my jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit. And it wasn't like a twist where you're like, okay, that's a forced twist. It
was a natural twist.
It was a natural twist. It felt natural. It felt good and authentic. And I thought it was great. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Well, even thinking about it now, she had her own room set up to look exactly like hers. So she must have been living her life in that room, you know, and writing to the stalker. Like, the more I think about it, this movie has got layers upon layers that's going on.
Yeah, and like, who's to say that she wasn't like living in Mima's room?
She was living in her recreation of it. That's what I'm thinking.
No, like in the actual room that she was in.
Well, she would go there. She would know what it looks like because they had tea, you know, like every once in a while as the manager. It's a good villain. It's a good idea for a villain, I think. You guys have anything else to say about the movie? I mean, I like I said, I think this is one of those ones that I had to think upon a little bit, but I kind of see the merits of it now, and I think it could really work as a live action film.
Absolutely.
I think that
shit, or even like a Netflix series, just like a short 10-episode series or something.
I think this is done in an hour and a half, dude. I think the story is told. What do you think, Jay?
I to be honest with you, this is one of those movies that there's only a few movies that I would say in life that I want to embrace in time, and I would never want to see a live action version of this movie.
No?
It's just so perfect to me as it stands.
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, I just know that they would. I just know they would find a way to. I'm not going to say they wouldn't do great. Like if I were to put, I'd say maybe Cary Fukunaga could do it. The guy from True Detective.
And it.
Yeah, he actually.
Oh, he didn't direct it. Yeah, he actually.
But it feels like think of. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I was cutting you off. Go ahead.
No. I love it as it stands. I would love for it to, it's perfect. I'd love for it to stay perfect. That's all. That's fine.
Well, I was going to agree with you on that one because if you think about it, this movie's like there's live action renditions of this movie. You got The Fan, you got like fucking Cape Fear, and just shit like that. We're just like an obsessive fan.
The one with Wesley Snipes or the one with John Travolta?
Yeah, or the one with
the good one. The good one.
Well, there's also that one with Michael Biehn, I think, right? Michael Bihn's in one too.
Oh yeah, that was an old one. Yeah, that was really good.
Raquel Welch. Is it Raquel
Welch?
Yeah.
Shit, yep.
That makes some Raquel Welch.
Good pull.
Jake, do you have anything else you want to say about the movie?
I went in wanting to like it.
No, you didn't. You
wanted
to
like it. I went in wanting to like it, and man, I was disappointed. I'm just playing. It was all right. I'll say that. I still contend that anime sucks, but in all honesty, I mean, fucking Star Wars sucks now, and I still fucking love that shit. So whatever. It is what it is. Will I recommend it? Yeah, I would recommend it to somebody to watch, definitely.
Yeah.
Am I a fucking weeb now? No, definitely not. Do I still hate anime? Yes. Will I watch another anime? Probably. I don't know.
Well, with that said, David, how about you? Do you recommend it?
I do. I would recommend it with a caveat. Again, I'd be like, hey, this is a 1997 anime movie, but watch it with the subtitles on. Do not watch it with dub because the dubbing is awful. But yeah, it's a really good movie, and I'll also recommend people watch it when not knowing anything about it, and don't get turned off. Don't get turned off by the beginning, because the beginning is a little bit like, what's going on? But once it gets going, man, I tell you what, for me, the battery drop moment for me was when the letter exploded, and she's about to film her scene, and like 3, 2, 1, boom, and then you're like, oh shit. This is getting bad.
Did that come from a fan or did that come from Rumi? Who sent
that
the
came
letter?
from Rumi.
Yeah, Rumi sent that.
Like she was orchestrating the whole shebang.
The pizza delivery murder was the battery drop moment for me, where I was like, oh, okay, fuck.
That was good.
How about you, Jay? You recommend it?
Yeah, asking me? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Totally recommended it. I'm telling you, it's for people like, this is a movie for people like Jake who don't like anime movies. This is a great, like if this movie isn't going to win you over to some extent, I don't really know of many others that will, but it's super solid. And if you lived in the 90s, you'll definitely feel nostalgic and be like, okay, oh yeah. Like when the internet was something new, it's always good to see that kind of stuff. Not that, but it's like it's just the whole way of like knowing that the internet, it's the first movie, and this is another take. I actually truly believe in this movie that the bad guy is the internet. I think at the very end of it, I think that that's what this movie is really trying to say. Beyond Roomy, beyond the Mr. Mania, I think the real villain of Perfect Blue is them trying to tell you what the internet is right then and what it is going to become. I think it's like a harbinger movie in a lot of ways, and I think we can all agree that the internet has absolutely infiltrated all our lives. I think this movie definitely is like almost like Armageddon-like in the way it's revealing that.
Oh shit! That goddamn, I like that take.
That's a good take.
Damn,
that's a damn good take.
I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. That is a great interpretation of that. But yeah, the internet is the worst and best thing that's ever happened to us.
And I think that's also a reason why I don't think the movie should be remade, because you can never capture that magic again.
Right.
Yeah, you can't capture that feeling.
Totally.
Genie's out of the bottle.
The last time I wanted an anime movie made, it was Ghost in the Shell, and look what the fuck happened to that.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Oh, so bad.
I
Javi,
didn't even watch it. Like, it was terrible.
Javi, you have to recommend, right? Because you recommended.
Oh, absolutely! I fucking love this movie.
So he's like, Sonic, this is the worst anime movie ever.
You guys
You're
are
fools.
I just tricked you guys.
I really hate this movie.
Rooms, all of you.
All of you are Mulligan Rooms.
Oh, you don't like anime now.
I will recommend, with the caveat that I thought it was going to be a hyper violent, gory mess, and I ended up getting something completely different. So I might tell somebody who's going to watch it it's a psychological thriller before you watch it. But with that said, I enjoyed talking about it with you guys, because once again, I think if I had space in between watching it and thinking about it for a couple of days, I think I would grow to like it even more. And sometimes movies need time.
No.
I just throw this out there now that every time I get a pick, it's gonna be an anime. So buckle up, boys. I already got my next one. I already got my next one already ready to go. Lock, stock, and just ready to rock.
1 year.
Perfect Blue.
1 year from today.
No, I don't. Shouldn't I get another pick like sometime in the fall?
No.
I agree with Jake. Nope, not gonna happen.
So how are we doing picks from now on?
We'll discuss it later.
We'll just TBD.
You're gonna do this without not. I was like, all right, we gotta do this real quick. I don't want Javi to find out. I'm not doing another anime.
Oh, we're off this week. Oh, all right. No, anime's fine.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
All right. Let's get to some clips then. How am I going to get to these clips without anyone seeing my desktop? Too late. Doesn't matter. Oh,
you got porn on your desktop?
No. I don't want people to see what's on my computer.
Do you have a messy desktop? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you cluttery bitch.
All right. Let me share with you guys so you guys can see
Cluttery bitch on freeze.
All right. Let me know if you guys can see that.
Pop Idol.
Pop Idol. All right.
No.
The animation's good, though.
Did they rotoscope this?
I think so. I think that was rotoscoped.
Yes, that definitely was. And you can actually see that some of the girls are actually not dancing in unison. They wanted to make it look as real as possible.
So did they film anything for the live action before they started this?
I'm sure they did. Most
or is that what they used?
Looked rotoscope,
I was going to say, is that what they used from it?
Yeah.
Fluid.
What's rotoscope mean?
It's over like
Live,
Disney does.
Oh, like Linklater? Like kind of like that?
Yes. So that's
like you can always tell when something's rotoscoped if their movements are really fucking fluid.
Yeah. What's even better is rotoscope. Beauty and the Beast. The dance at the end is rotoscope from Rotoscroted from Cinderella.
Scrotum. Next movie.
Saves money. Saves
a
time.
lot of those Disney scenes are all like rotoscoped from previous Disney movies. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, the Alice in Wonderland is really good.
All right, let's go with Creeper Dave. It's me.
Fucking Asian Michael Myers looking there. They did a good job on him, man. He's fucking creepy.
Yeah, he is.
That kind of reminded me of that deformed guy in the Funhouse. Y'all remember that classic '80s horror movie?
Well, I think that's what's wonderful is he's total creeper, and he reminded me of Sloth. Like that eye is way over here.
Sloth, yeah.
Danzy.
Yeah.
Wow. Shots fired on Danzig.
Okay, well, he knows what he looks like.
You
I
fucker.
hope he's watching. Fuck
You
you.
fuckers.
Dan
You know what I
Danzy's-
look like. You
Dan
made fun of
Danzy's-
my eyes.
Dan Danzig is one of the few guys I know that looks both 48 and 12 at the same time. and he gets to
Love
pick
you,
which one
Dan.
it is. And but you get a choice.
Yeah.
You get a choice.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The day I'm feeling 12.
Poor Dan. 1997.
Now I have to explain this all to you, so listen carefully. Okay. This is a browser for the World Wide Web. You launch it by double-clicking here.
What? Double clip?
What are you going to do with a clip?
I thought that's what you said.
No, see, at the location here, you enter the URL. It's really not
No,
that difficult to
this
understand.
isn't what happened. They're like, what did I put
And
on
it-
my name?
And this is when I switched over to being subtitled.
No need?
Oh, Romy, come on. Will you please explain it to me in English?
Oh boy, whatever gave you the idea to buy a computer anyway?
Because they said it was easy.
What, did you see all the shit that she has in her room?
Yes,
She got
I was about
PlayStation
to
in
say
there.
that.
She got some fucking.
The TV with the VCR connected
She's
at the
got
bottom.
PlayStation.
What I was going to say is I really like how cluttered and realistic things look.
She has some carrots hanging up on a string for some reason.
But that's the thing is it makes it look real. Like people have cluttered
Definitely.
living spaces, and I thought that was
Definitely.
kind of cool. And I noticed that pretty quick on. Like even the bed's not made right. There's pillows thrown all over it. It all just feeds into the realism of it. And like I said, something about this director, having seen, and I know Tokyo Godfathers is another movie he made that is considered
I
one of the
fucking
best
love Tokyo
anime
Godfathers.
ever made.
It really is.
And-
It's definitely up there.
But I think having his characters look like characters, like people look weird. We all look weird. We don't look perfect. And that's what movies and animation do a lot. They have these perfect people. And so by having imperfections and having like messy rooms and clutter and stuff like that, that adds to the realism of it. So
For
I
sure.
think it's pretty cool. All right. Sorry, technical difficulties. A moment of compassion. This is that moment we're talking about.
I'm really sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right.
I thought that was cool.
I love that scene. I mean, that part
Whoa.
of the scene.
Whoa.
Sure, Jessup, sure.
I just saved my cancel.
Yeah.
The whole scene was amazing, especially the rape. This movie had a lot of rape. All right. Oh shit. Technical difficulties. Come on, baby. Let's go. Dead fish. That's terrible. After.
Oh my god.
Doug,
I'm sorry.
why would you title it that?
Because there's dead fish.
You knew what you were doing.
I know.
I did.
Those poor Rainbow Mollies.
Double blind. I thought that was cool. The name of the
But
show
they're not
was-
dead. They're not dead.
So the name of the show was Double Bind, and this is what happened.
Ah.
That's so
Oh yeah,
cool.
we didn't even talk
yeah.
about the fact that they're on a TV show that's like a police procedural. That was a really cool choice.
Yeah.
That was a really cool choice for them to do that.
Fucking meta as fuck also because
Yes.
the killer that they're chasing in it is sounded like fucking the parallels were
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, it was
Show
almost like
what was going
mirroring.
on in her fucking real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually of all the movies that reminded me of Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
God, that TV show and that movie was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you
know,
say-
she's like,
Dixical?
Dixie.
So funny.
Mean Girls, because girls are mean.
Well, that photographer, he's known for getting people to strip.
So what? She doesn't
Whoa.
care. I'm sure she can't wait to take it off. Woo! In front of the photographer and everyone, like totally, I'm here!
Yeah, so if you watch the dubbed version or the subbed version, it does not. These people just sound like fucking whores. But I guess if you hear another language, it doesn't sound so. I don't know.
That's like
girl,
my biggest
like I
problem
punch her.
with fucking dubs. It was like the voice actors they get from most dubs are just trash.
Except for my wife.
I was gonna say Lindsay did good.
I think
and 1997 voice actors. Miyazaki movies actually get some because they actually get actual actors for dubbed Miyazaki movies.
Well,
like
no,
Christian
Miyazaki.
Bale was Hal for Howl's Moving Castle.
Well, Miyazaki does multiple casts, like
Chinaman did
Nautical.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Mark Britton.
Chinaman.
Did you just say that Miyazaki does Dragon Ball Z?
No, he said Chinaman. Is in Dragon Ball
He
Z.
did some of the dubs for like Majin Buu and shit like that.
Yeah, he
Are you
played
serious?
Oolong. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
You didn't know he played Oolong on that show?
No, I don't watch.
I don't think he
Dragon
knows
Ball Z
who
dubbed.
Chinaman is.
He's
I
a
don't know if
local
he knows.
comedian. Yeah. All right.
Don't ask Randy.
Psychosis.
I was gonna say you use the term comedian lightly.
See?
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you? You didn't believe me. You were better off as a pop idol. I was right, huh?
Hey, Mima, are you listening?
Listen to the
Stop all
score.
this nonsense. Please tell me who you are. Who, me? I am a pop idol. The fans are all waiting. So I decided I'm going to sing with Ray and Yukiko again.
Awesome.
I like the way the double talks. It's very robotic. It's very creepy. It's almost like a second stalker in a way. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. I like that. I don't know how to say that. Poulet et deux? Does that sound right?
Poulet à deux?
Madness for two.
I trust you, Mr. Romania. I'll always be with you and I'll never change. Not
Yeah,
a bit,
this is the
but I
fucking
have
cool.
a problem.
This shit's awesome.
That imposter, she keeps getting in my way. I don't know what to do. Mr. Romania, thank you very much.
That's a cool shot.
You're the only one I can depend on.
That's fucking dope.
I like
That's cool. Look at all his shit, also, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
Look
before
clever his fucking plays is.
like trying to buy all the magazines where she
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool because he has
And I didn't get that he was doing it because he wanted to see her naked. I got it. It felt to me like he was doing it because he wanted to protect her image.
that's
Yes.
exactly
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
that's what it was.
Like a
He
moment in
wanted
time.
to save
Right.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be doing this rape shit. Like you gotta
Yep.
protect. Yeah.
That kind of reminded me of y'all remember Boxing Helena?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of that.
So
actually,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. It was a fucked up movie.
Did you guys ever have posters like that when you were younger? Up on
No,
the
I had a
wall, like
perfect
women?
blue poster with my Matrix poster and my
Right
my
next to
Scarface poster.
So-
I'm triggered.
So my brother and I shared a room, and my dad put up a wall that was like a cork, and he was like, "Okay, you split it in half." So
That's
my brother
fucking
got
awesome.
one half, and I got and we could put whatever we want on it.
That's a
So
great
I was
idea.
really into heavy metal, and my brother, we lived in Florida. He was an OP kid. I think it's Original Pacific. Is that what it is?
Ocean Pacific.
Ocean Pacific. So all his posters were like girls in bikinis and stuff, and mine was all. My favorite band was Judas Priest. So it was Rob Halford in leather and like just long dudes with long hair and sweaty. And my dad walked in once, looked at both of them, and looked at us and was like, "Fuck," and just walked out.
What am I gonna do with these two?
I know.
These
Like
fucking shovelheads.
he was proud of my brother, but he looked at mine and was just like, "Oh boy."
Rob Halford.
Yeah, man, Rob Halford, he's like the straightest guy I know, man. He's so kick ass.
You
He's
look at all the
always like,
fucking leather
"Fist,
he's wearing. He's
yeah!
covered in
You want to
spikes."
fist me? He's always telling people to fist, man. That's so cool. Man, I want to be just like Rob Halford when I grow up.
I want to get
There's
fisted
actually
by Rob Halford.
there's a great. Have you guys ever seen The Parking Lot? The Parking Lot's a 20-minute documentary of this camera crew goes outside of a heavy metal concert in the 80s, and they just interview teenagers in the parking lot. It's like in 1986, and they're interviewing people, and they say, "What do you think about Rob Halford?" The one guy's like, "Man, he's so kick-ass, but he gets all the chicks." And they asked another guy, and he was like, I don't know, man. There's something off with him. And
I remember
go on to
Beavis
somebody
and
else.
I remember that Beavis and Butthead when they did Breaking the Law. They were doing that video, and one of the things they mentioned about Rob Halford, if you look in the video, there's a part where he's doing this with his shoulder. What's he doing with his shoulder? Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
The funniest video with them is a video called Hot Rockin', and the entire video they're working out, and they're the skinniest dudes ever, but they're all in the gym and they're all working out, and that was like early '80s when they have a video camera, but they don't have a concept to go with the song. So they're just like, fuck it, let's go work out.
Hey,
You're
Olivia
hot rocking.
Newton-John did a fucking video like this. We can.
Yeah.
Anything's possible if we have.
No, I'm sorry about that weird Rob Halford tangent.
No,
we
that
went
was
on.
fucking
I
awesome.
Electric Guy is fire, bro.
No, you're good.
Yeah. And by the way, I have nothing against Rob Halford being
hell
gay,
no.
just so you know. Don't
He
cancel me.
contributed to those kids committing suicide, but whatever.
Forgot about that.
This is the floating girl. That's just proof.
It's
that
like
if you
the same
skip-
actress did the scream for both girls just then. They just layered them over each other. Did you hear? Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say it's just proof to me that skipping gets you places quicker than running, because that's what I've always known.
It's funner.
Yeah, it definitely is. All right, teacup.
Now that's weird.
Two girls, one cup.
What's wrong with you? Oh my God, you're bleeding.
She's got Danny Danzy eyes.
She's precocious. She knows this.
Poor Dan.
Oh, he's taking a beating.
All right, the
Snyder
pizza-
Cut sucks. Yeah.
Pizza Man.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
We gotta talk after this.
All right, we'll talk after.
You're a weird pizza guy.
Oh
yeah, so
Fuck
great.
yes. Fuck yes.
That's
Fucking coolest shit in the whole movie.
I like how the blank makes an appearance. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, right. I was like, where the fuck are her eyes?
Hammer. I had to edit this one.
Yeah, I was wondering why. See, okay, I don't like that.
You didn't like it?
No.
Why?
He didn't like it. So what?
Did she kill him or did?
That's
Ruby
what I
kill
don't
him?
fucking know. And like she didn't even swing through. He doesn't fall over. He stands there. She didn't hit him with the fucking claw on the fucking hammer either.
Right.
She hit him with the fucking flat part, and then he
Yeah.
just and then the fucking I don't.
I get the impression that Rumi killed him afterwards because he was no longer useful to her.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think that's what happened because she killed him and the other agent, and
So whenever the lights and camera and crowd came on, it was still in her mind. I had this
yes,
right.
that was part of the psychosis. Yeah, that was
Okay.
part of like the celebration afterwards. Just like how they had the rap party, and she couldn't appreciate the rap party. This was the actual rap party for her. This was the end of her story and her journey, and that's the last bit of psychosis you see with her. And before it seems to. Oh yeah, you're right. After that,
Ruby.
Yeah, you're right. I'm an idiot. But I mean, it's still kind of. Yeah, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm an idiot.
Get it.
There's this long pause. I like.
Fucking dub actors, bro. Some.
I thought they did a good job.
Dude, he sounded like that in the fucking sub version also.
Hey, Runer.
All right, looks good.
Yeah, she just knocked him out, but that actually happened.
I think this is the room.
So they were just filming her, letting this fucking
No,
this
you see, like,
maniac fucking do this?
It's like a time jump a little bit. So they just show the events of the attack and then how she's got to get back to fucking performing.
I don't think you
that
even know what
mindset.
this fucking movie's about.
She fucking did it. And then fucking Rumi killed him. because he couldn't do it. So that's what happened. That attack was real. She rendered him unconscious with the hammer.
Yeah, the attack was real, but
and then it's like a cut automatically to her performing.
Yeah, but that's not real. The celebration isn't real. That's totally in her head because she's crazy. It's in her head. All right.
Oh man.
I know
This is not my room. Of course not. This You're.
Look, I'm wearing the new costume. Isn't it just fabulous?
I thought that was pretty
tomorrow's
cool.
show.
The double
Isn't
voices.
it great? It's perfect on me.
All right, this is the
Love that.
reflection Jake was talking about. This is so cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
badass.
That's how I fucking knew. Okay, this makes sense now because I was like, what the fuck? She could just float around and change her fucking appearance, and then it's like, okay.
Lights, camera, action. Oh,
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
That was so cool,
That
man.
was such a good
That's
scene.
the great shot.
Yeah, fucking beautiful.
Boom, she's hit.
and I like the ambiguous, how it's ambiguous. Like the truck driver thinks maybe he hit them, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then the ending, which Jay talked about earlier, the different endings. But
No, I'm the real thing.
what the fuck? And the movie is over.
That music does not match at all.
Get that fucking saxophone going.
They're like, all right, you were kind of depressed. Now listen to this.
Yeah. Oh, you had a
that was some 80s sax. Though.
Speaking of bad music to end a movie feeling, do you guys remember First Blood?
Yes.
with it has this amazing ending, and all of a sudden this horrible song comes on. Yeah, he is a man, and he's all alone.
Knockoffs of Survivor fucking starts playing.
Peter
I was in the
Cetera.
movie. I know. I was in the movie theater. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Did I just get punked? Are they playing this over the soundtrack? Because this is not fit." then you find out music by Frank Stallone.
yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
I just saw a podcast on Frank Stallone with Chris Jericho, and he's got this special on Amazon Prime now. It's called Stallone. Frank, that is.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm watching that now.
I hear it's pretty good.
They need to do a show on their mom. Javi and I had this conversation the other day. She reads people's assholes for fortunes.
Yeah, there's their mother actually. She's a fortune teller, and she reads their ass cheeks.
Yeah.
She's still alive?
Yes, she died.
I think
she died in 2016.
Oh,
Yeah, but she had lived a long life. Like she was 80,
old as
90.
fuck.
Yeah.
I could just see her reading her fucking son's ass. It's like, oh, why, honey, you're gonna be so good, Frankie. Come over here. You're not like your brother at all.
Don't worry, Frankie. You'll do the soundtrack for Staying Alive, which is going to be a horrible movie.
You're gonna get stabbed right in the very beginning of Tombstone, darling.
I think like he did a true Hollywood story on the Stallones, and like her biggest flex. Oh yeah, I got to read John Travolta's ass.
God damn, what a lucky woman.
Oh, Sandy,
you know who else
why?
did? His fucking co-pilot.
You know what? I just found out. That Staying Alive was not a sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
You're
I didn't
kidding.
realize
it
that.
is.
You're kidding.
No,
It's
it's
Tony.
not. No, it's not a sequel to Saturday Night Fever.
It's a spiritual sequel, huh?
Stallone
Sorry.
directed that, right?
Mind
Stallone directed it, and Frank Stallone did the music.
Yeah. All right, guys. We don't have Will recommends, but I will throw out Camp
No,
Slash
dude, he's playing
Horrorcast.
Tony Monero. He's the same fucking character.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But we will do.
Sequel.
Jake was not taking that one lying
No,
down.
man, I watched Saturday Night Fever. I like that fucking movie.
He was Johnny
Lied
Monero.
to me.
Well, you weren't checking IMDb, so
Well,
might have
we
been on
will
my
do.
IMDb.
He immediately went into phone. He's like, "Fuck that shit. That's bullshit."
I've lost.
That's
control.
Tony motherfucking Monero, motherfucker.
That's a journal entry.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a sequel. I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
That's why
What are
you
you
can't
thinking of?
trust
Look
son of a
who's
bitch.
talking.
Shit, this proves the point, dude.
Yes.
The internet's evil. The evil net's
Yes.
the internet's
Talking
evil.
2 is not an actual sequel. to
Thank you. That's what it is.
All right, guys. I got some recommendations real quick for you. So I'm going to throw this up and share it with you, hopefully. First one will be, of course, Paprika. So let's take a look at that. If you guys can see it, let me know. This is a film that he did afterwards. You can already see right there. Sony Pictures Classic. But you can see just...
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just right
that was
there.
the Inception scene.
Yep. There's so much this movie is like Inception.
Oh, that's the Inception scene.
Yep. But it's definitely.
Why is J.
worth a
Jonah
watch.
Jameson in it?
Oh, dude, no, but I'm telling you, like this movie is totally worth a watch. It's very interesting. Some of the stuff they do. I love the toy parade. And this character Paprika, she can kind of go into dreams, and that's the idea of what they stole for Inception. Javi, what do you think?
Well, they didn't steal Inception. Inception stole from them.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Inception
know.
took
That's what
from
I
it.
was saying.
Oh.
That's the Inception scene.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the Inception scene.
Yeah, you can
But
definitely.
yeah,
see
like
it.
I remember I saw this movie for the first time. I downloaded it. I was like, "Holy fuck, this movie's fucking fantastic."
Have y'all
And
ever
just the
seen
animation-
Dreamscape?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, I love Dreamscape.
Came out around the same time as Nightmare on Elm Street, and there's little homages between the two movies. But a lot of people consider Dreamscape like the original movie where you go into dreams, and it's because it's definitely like more of like a swashbuckler, whereas Nightmare on Elm Street obviously is a horror movie. I highly recommend it. It's great.
It's like One Piece.
That's Dennis Quaid, right?
Dennis Quaid, and then the bad guy
You heard me.
from the Warriors.
Oh yeah, the
David
guy from
Michael
the Warriors.
Kelly.
Yeah.
David Michael Kelly. I think his name is.
Come on, Warriors, come out and play.
I lied. The guy who gets thrown off the hill in Commando.
Oh yeah, so good.
Commando.
You know, another
When he
good
says
movie.
"Ooh la la," as he
It's just not. It wasn't a sequel though to Saturday Night Fever.
Well, if you read the novelization,
Commando was a prequel to Staying Alive.
Well, it ain't gonna blow itself.
Oh, guys.
Hey, yeah.
All right, my second recommendation will be Elfin Lead. It is fucking awesome. So if you've never seen it, this I recommend.
It's gory as fuck too.
For the gore specifically.
That's why I watch
because
it.
That is.
What is it called?
What's this one?
Elfin Lead.
Elfin
Man,
Lead.
you should have played that. Yeah, just play that fucking first scene.
Scene
from
where
the
she
first
rips off the
episode.
girl's head. Yeah.
Holy
it's
shit! Yeah.
But this.
How do you spell it?
It's Elfin.
Lied.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
Elfin Lied is what it spelled like.
But it's trippy. It is fun when you get into what the MacGuffin is, or not the MacGuffin, but like.
Dude, it's fucking nuts.
And it's a fun watch. It's very I don't know how to say. It's very misogynistic. The portrayal of the main character is very weird.
I don't like anime, and I watched this full season.
Yeah, I recommended it to Jake. I was like, this is going to be a good one. I really enjoyed it. And you watched it pretty much like I did. You shotgunned it, right? The way through.
Yep.
It's worth your time.
Back at the old house.
And honestly, like it stands up. Like I would watch it again. And so that's why I recommend it. But also for the gore, because it is gory as fuck.
Yeah,
and
that's
once you
what
find
comedy
out,
right there. I was like, dude, that's fucking dope.
it was so good. So with that said,
I'm
Javi,
in.
Javi, do you want to recommend any other anime to everyone?
If you like gore,
So what else are we doing next week?
I highly suggest the Blood Plus C.
Oh, is that the one with the bunnies? Is that the one?
Blood Plus C is just like these demons just like kill high schoolers and shit. And
It's
just like they rip them in
demented.
half and crap. They bite them in half. They just
My wife will love that.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
gory. Like
He picks
actual
up a
Douglas
girl
clips.
and rips her down the middle.
And you hear it. Like you
Yeah.
actually hear, like,
Terrifier.
flesh ripping.
Yeah, it's
Like Mortal
nasty.
Kombat fatalities.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Javi, you're killing me with that fucking lighter, dude.
I can't get it to light up.
I know you can't. You've been trying the whole fucking cast.
Here, man, use mine.
That would be so cool if he picked it up and got it. What the fuck is going on?
All right, guys.
Perfect blue.
With that said, anyone else want to recommend anything?
Yeah, I recommend not watching any more fucking anime. I'll just play it. It wasn't bad. Happy birthday, Javi.
Happy birthday,
Javi.
Look at
Great
him.
choice, buddy. Great
breathe.
choice.
He's literally breathing.
It was a good
right
movie.
now. He was
I'll
so scared.
give
You
it
know
that.
he was.
I gave,
All right.
I gave it 6.5 out of 10. How about
All
that?
right, David, where can they find you?
That's what she gave the Snyder Cut with 6.5.
I told you I bumped it up to 7. We'll talk
We're
about
gonna
that
talk
after
about
we're
that
done.
later. We're gonna talk about that later. David,
Come out this Saturday, the 27th, to Fair Park to the Oddities and Curiosities Expo, and you will be able to see beauties like this.
Nice.
very
Isn't that
nice.
sweet? Look at how it comes out of the frame. Look at
So
that.
you're selling?
Yes.
Okay. Right on. And on the internet, where can they find you?
They can find me at Stop Motion Nightmares on Facebook. This is actually going to be a light. And then
nice.
Children of Dave. Look at eyeballs.
Yeah.
on Instagram. And yeah, good times.
Go check out the Instagram, definitely. He's always posting amazing stuff there, along with the stop motion animations that are just unbelievable. You can find us on the internet at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. We have We Are Air. We talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That is me, Jake, and Javi. We break down pop culture. We're going to talk Snyder Cut on the next episode. You can also check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, which we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Reverend Ethan Eastwood. Dr. Reverend Ethan Eastwood. I wish he was here so he could have gave us his take. It would have been amazing. I'm sure he would have hated the movie. Also, Gyros.
This wasn't a horror movie, man. I just can't see it as a horror movie.
Gyros, a Dungeon Distraction side quest where we play some D&D. I Hate Being Sober, where I talk to people about their personal stories from these epic people. And finally, you can join our Discord. The link is in the description, along with all the social media. Check us out every Monday on Camp/Horrorcast. We talk horror movies from the past at 8 p.m. Central Time here on Twitch. With that said, happy birthday, Javi. Good pick. Excellent pick.
Guys.
Next year, you do not get to do anime again. So,
it's going to happen.
Face, man.
If I ever get a pick again, it's going to be an anime.
Well, guys,
just know
I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for being here again, for doing this. Check us out next Monday where we talk YouTube shorts, so we can't wait to do that. Other than that, we're going to cut the feed.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp/Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore. Heroes, Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.